Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez had been stationed on Krell Prime for exactly 3 months when she made her first critical mistake, falling asleep in the communal garden. The Krell were apex predators, 8 feet of scaled muscle, retractable claws that could shred titanium, and a bite force that exceeded Earth's saltwater crocodiles. Their homeworld was a death trap of carnivorous flora and even more carnivorous fauna. The Krell had clawed their way to the top of their food chain through sheer, unrelenting violence. Naturally, the Galactic Council had been horrified when humans proposed a cultural exchange program. "You want to send your people to live among the Krell?" Ambassador Thrax had asked, his translator struggling to convey his disbelief. "They are hunters. You are soft." Maya had laughed at that memory as she'd settled into the garden that afternoon. Soft. If only they knew. The garden was her favorite spot on the compound, a carefully maintained slice of Krell wilderness, complete with the purple-leaf thorn bushes and the low, moss-covered stones that the Krell preferred. She'd finished her shift early, the twin suns were warm, and the constant political meetings had exhausted her. Just a few minutes of rest, she'd thought. She woke to wait. A lot of weight. Maya's eyes snapped open to find herself pinned beneath what appeared to be every juvenile Krell in the compound. There were 5 of them, cubs ranging from what she estimated to be 3 to 7 years old in human terms. Each one was already the size of a large dog, their scales gleaming emerald and gold in the fading sunlight. They had piled on top of her like a litter of puppies. Maya said intelligently. "Hello." The largest cub, she recognized him as Kreth, the chieftain's youngest son, chirped happily and nuzzled his snout against her shoulder. His scales were smooth and warm, not cold like a reptile's. The other cubs shuffled and adjusted, somehow managing to pin her even more thoroughly to the ground. "Okay, guys," Maya said, trying to shift. "This is sweet and all, but I can't exactly breathe here." The cubs ignored her. One of them, little Shasa, who couldn't have been more than 4, had curled up on her chest, purring. Purring. Maya hadn't even known Krell could purr. She heard footsteps approaching and managed to tilt her head back far enough to see Elder Vrak, one of the compound's senior warriors, emerging from between the thorn bushes. He stopped dead, his predatory eyes widening. "Lieutenant Rodriguez," he said slowly, his translator rendering his growling speech into crisp English. "You appear to be immobilized. You think?" Maya grunted. "A little help here?" Vrak made a sound that might have been laughter, a strange, huffing bark. "I cannot. Can't or won't. Both." He sat down on one of the stone benches, clearly settling in to watch. "What you are experiencing is a cub pile. It is, how do your translators phrase it, a sign of ultimate trust." Maya blinked. "Trust? The young ones believe you are safe," Vrak explained, his massive head tilting. "They have chosen you as a guardian. This is highly unusual. Yeah, well, it's also highly uncomfortable. I think Kreth is cutting off circulation to my left leg." As if in response, Kreth shifted slightly and Maya gasped as feeling returned to her limb in a rush of pins and needles. "Your species is strange," Vrak observed. "Most creatures with young would have sensed the cub's approach. Your prey instincts are lacking." "We're not prey," Maya said reflexively, then paused. "Well, we used to be. Then we got smart. Intelligence over instinct." Vrak's tone was thoughtful. "Fascinating. And yet the cubs sense something in you. Something that speaks to their deepest nature." "What, that I'm a good pillow? That you are pack?" The words hung in the air. Maya stopped struggling against the weight of the cubs, her mind processing what Vrak had just said. "Pack," she repeated. "Humans are tribal, yes. You form bonds across bloodlines. You protect those you claim as your own, even at cost to yourself." Vrak leaned forward, his claws clicking against the stone. "The Galactic Council sees you as weak because you did not evolve as apex predators. They do not understand that you evolved as something far more dangerous. And what's that? Persisters. Survivors. Pack hunters who never stop. Vrak's expression was unreadable. You chase your prey across continents. You outlast them, outsmart them, outplan them. You turn other predators into companions. You are not the fastest or the strongest, but you are the most relentless. Maya thought about that. Thought about humanity's long history of persistence hunting, of tracking wounded animals for days until they collapsed from exhaustion. Thought about how humans had domesticated wolves, turning apex predators into loyal dogs. Thought about how humanity had looked at the stars and decided that nothing, not distance, not physics, not death itself, would stop them from reaching out. The cubs know, Vrak continued. They feel it. You do not smell of fear. You smell of determination. Of stubborn, unshakable will. He stood, his massive frame blocking out one of the suns. This is why the exchange program works, Lieutenant Rodriguez. Not because humans are harmless, but because you are the same as us in the ways that matter. You are predators who protect their pack. Maya looked down at the pile of cubs snoozing on top of her. Shasa had started drooling slightly on her uniform shirt. Kretha's tail was wrapped around her ankle in a surprisingly gentle grip. So how long does a cub pile usually last, she asked. Until they wake up. Perhaps an hour. An hour. Consider it a diplomatic opportunity, Vrak said, that huffing laugh returning. When Chieftain Gorix learns that his son has chosen you as pack, it will strengthen our alliance considerably. He turned to leave, then paused. Welcome to the Krell, Lieutenant Rodriguez. You are one of us now. As Vrak disappeared into the thorn bushes, Maya resigned herself to her fate. The twin suns set slowly over Krell Prime, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. The cubs slept on, warm and trusting and heavy. And Maya Rodriguez, representative of humanity, apex persistence predator of Earth, smiled. Pack, she thought. Yeah. She could work with that.